Welcome to Mainline Executive Coaching ACT, which stands for And Cultural Transformation, featuring Master Certified Executive Coaches Maikel Bailey and Rich Barron. With over 50 years of executive leadership and coaching between them, they will be able to bring you the most relevant topics impacting leaders today. Brought to you by Intelligent Leadership Executive Coaching, the world's top executive coaching brand. Once again, thank you and enjoy today's show.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We know you've got busy lives and lots to do, and we've got lots to share with you here today. We are Mainline Executive Coaching, ACT. That's who we are, Mainline Leaders. That's what we do. And so I'm here with my partner, Rich Barron, and I'm Maikel Bailey. We're glad to have you part of what it is that we're doing today. And we've got a great guest with us today, Jeremy Gustafson. He's going to be sharing with us some insights about leadership and how leadership works, and how do you build great teams in terms of the right mindset, the right approach, the right kind of expectations. That's what we'll be talking about here today. So I'm going to read this as John Mattone's law number 4. Go forward every day committed to worthy achievement, being altruistic, and building rewarding relationships with the people in your life. That's what we'll be talking about today. So let's start first. Jeremy, tell us a little bit about yourself. You've been with us before, but remind the folks who you are and what you do and what you're all about.
Yeah, it's great to be back. Thank you both, and thanks to the audience that tunes in. So, coming up on a year at ILEC. It was one of the very, very first coaches in the program and the affiliate, and it's been a great year. And if I could use one thing to describe it, it's been a phenomenal learning experience, and I get a lot out of each of these podcasts as well. And spent about 30 years in marketing, MarTech, content development, creative studios. And I always enjoyed the people side and leading my people, leading clients, and achieving goals. And I think we're going to talk a little bit about that today. And then we know it takes commitment every single day as a leader to drive through and meet those commitments. And I think as we break this down today, law number 4, talk about what is worthy achievement, what are rewarding relationships, right? Because those can vary. But as coaches, I think this hits at exactly what we try to do. And if we're hitting on all cylinders, this is a natural outcome as we take people into vulnerability, give them the courage to do that. Once they've accepted that place and begin to be the leader that they are and not who they think they should be, this would naturally happen, and it can be extremely rewarding, especially over time. And I think that's something we want to talk about here, right, Rich?
No, absolutely.
So what's your take on this? Let's start here. Let's break this down. Go forward. So that goes right back to what we talk about as leaders. You got to act. Let's take on action. Let's get things going, not only for ourselves, but for the culture, the people that we are leading, with people that we are managing. Go forward every day. Committed, that's a great word, committed, not halfway, not half-baked, not partially, 1 foot in, not 1 foot out, but truly committed to worthy achievements. Let's take a look at this idea. Rich, what would be a worthy achievement, or how would you define a worthy achievement versus one that was not as worthy or maybe even worthless? Could you give us some distinctions about that?
Yeah, I think so. I think what it really comes down to, at least for me, what gets you up in the morning? What gets you going? What makes you want to do the things that you do, or go to work each day, or be the person that you are? I think for me, when it comes right down to worthy achievement, it really is, and it has to do with the rest of the law, being altruistic, building relationship. That worthy achievement is, are you worthy of the people around you? Are the actions that you're responsible for, the goals that you set, the vision that you set, is it a worthy achievement? Is it worthy for the honor of the people that you work with? Are you worthy of their respect? Are you worthy of their esteem? Those are the type of achievements that you really need to be focused on, not something just, I'm going to go out there and make something click for me, or I'm going to go out there and, make some more money for myself today. What am I going to do for others? What achievement am I going to get today that's going to be part of my lasting legacy? You know, after all, you know, what are you going to trade today for? None of us are promised tomorrow, right? You know, we're really not promised tomorrow. So what are you going to do today that's going to make you worthy of the esteem and the respect and the honor of those people around you? I think that's, for me, that's what it comes down to.
So worthy, worthwhile versus, you know, something that's worthless. Maybe you see it as a leader, it's worthwhile to me, it's worthy to me, but is it worthwhile to everybody else? That's what I think you're kind of driving. Is it worthwhile?
Absolutely. Is it, I mean, after all, if you're a leader in your organization, you're not there for yourself. It's an organization. You have the responsibility of all those people around you. After all, your decisions could impact the lives and ultimately the career paths of those people that work for you. So it has to be something that is, you know, a worthy goal, a worthy achievement for not only for you, but those around you.
There you go. So it's got to be intrinsic. This achievement's got to be intrinsic to the values, the principles of the organization, not separate from, not just you, not just some of the people. And it's also got to be in line with the vision, the mission of the organization, right? So if that's the case, Jeremy, if those things really come together, and we can legitimately say this would be, and the pursuit of it is a worthwhile achievement, then how does that then feed into, okay, being altruistic? How do they work together? How do they support each other?
Yeah, that's a great question. And as I listened to the two of you go back and forth, I was thinking, you know, worthy, sometimes it may not be at the top of the leader's list in terms of the goal or the achievement, but it might be really, really important and therefore worthy to other stakeholders, customers, employees, for sure. Got to start there, right? I look at Buffett and Bezos and those, you know, they're all about the customer, all about the talent. And I think as we look at that in altruism and the whole notion of that, you know, although it is a two-way street, the notion of it sitting in the leader's chair isn't that we are selfish and we're expecting something in return, let alone an immediate return, right? And so we're building these rewarding relationships over time through altruism, and you've got to stay, you know, as we said, committed every single day with no guarantees, right? So you might be giving into what appears to be and may very well be an altruistic relationship, but it may take time to play out. So the thing that might be out of balance is time. And I have seen investments in relationships just whip around 5.5 years later and pay off beyond my wildest dreams in the most indirect ways, right? And because I wasn't expecting anything, well, not because of me, but it can happen. And I know that I did my part. I showed up that day. I was committed, you know, I was focused, and I was looking at, through an altruistic lens, how is this going to affect the entire organization, as Rich said, not right? So we're not looking in the mirror. We're looking out at all those different stakeholder groups that I mentioned.
Right. And so this idea of coming together here, worthwhile achievement, we are going to get people buying into it. So there's this sense of altruism. And altruism, when you really take a look at it, it is a mature trait, because that ability to see things not only just right now, but also to be able to see into the future, how that could develop, right? How that relationship could develop, how these actions that we're developing are working with the people that we're leading here, how that can turn out, and knowing how to get it there, right? Knowing how to get those individuals there, that up and coming individual, you know, that you can see great potential in them. And then that leads into this whole idea of building rewarding relationships. Building, it's a building, that's a verb, isn't it? That's an active, get your hands on it, get your hands dirty, make it happen. Don't stand way off and just kind of theorize about it. Get in and do it. What about building relationships, rewarding relationships, Rich?
You know, that's not just with your organization. You know, that's with the people around you, with your family, your friends, in those your customers. You know, let's talk about your customer base. Building those rewarding relationships that are going to help you go forward is critical. Absolutely critical. You know, what about all those people in your life that you see every day? And it's been said that most of us spend more time at work than we do with our own families. And if you think about it, that absolutely is true. Now, over time, it's those people around you that are going to help you succeed. So those relationships become even more critical. Building those relationships and getting to know those people, getting to know their strengths, getting to know their talents, getting to know their desires and their wants and their abilities. You know, and I've said this, you know, lots of times before, and I'm a firm believer in this, that the biggest waste in any organization is people's time, energy, and talents. If you get to know people and you build those relationships, you get to understand exactly what they want to do, how they can help you. They are no longer just a face on the production floor. They're a team member.
That's right. And that begins, it's really an interesting thing. We'd like to think how they can help us, but the ball doesn't start rolling until we reach out and we start doing something to help them. And the greatest way that we can create genuine, real, valuable help, going back to this idea of worthy achievement or valuable achievement, relevant achievement, is to begin with the people that we are working with to help not only what we're doing here, but help them to see the value that they bring to it. Sometimes people aren't very good at seeing their potential, aren't very good at seeing their value, seeing the possibilities. And it's that wise leader that can look past all that stuff and go, man, there's something really great, whether it has to do with a client or somebody that they're working with. But when you take a look at it, or somebody in their own lives, right? And so when you really take a look at, this isn't just a bunch of little words strung together here. Leaders, what this really is, when you really get down to it, go forward every day committed to worthy achievement, being altruistic and building rewarding relationships with the people in your life. When you really take a look at that, that's a lifestyle. That's a way of looking at the world. That's a paradigm out of which you come and out of which you live. Jeremy, what is that? Why is that important for any leader to just not do it, but live it?
Right, live it. But there's a couple things. There's quite a bit in there, right? There's not too many words on this page, but there's so much to unpack. You mentioned the word future, right? And this law starts with the words go forward. I like to make distinctions with my clients and their teams between bosses / managers and leaders, right? You know, a lot of bosses that love spreadsheets, but to me, spreadsheet already happened. That's a rear view mirror, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Selling on that, you are not looking forward. And the best leaders, the ones we all admire, we don't need to spend time on the names here. We all know who they are, but many that the folks in the audience have never heard of, some really great men and women out there, are almost exclusively focused on the future and incessantly communicating that in a committed way every single day to their teams. And that's how you get, as Rich said earlier, an entire organization moving in the same direction, moving forward. And that's when that altruistic relationship is going to pay back, not just to the leader in terms of personal and business fulfillment and hopefully financial. We're all in business for a reason. But building lasting, rewarding relationships. Again, the commitment, the everyday part, and displaying that altruism, but really that incessant focus almost exclusively on the future. Rich mentioned there's no guarantee for tomorrow. Well, we cannot get tomorrow back. Once that spreadsheet is published, we're not changing it. We hope. Right. Yeah. We got another problem if that's the case, right?
Unless you're cooking the books, and then that's a little bit different.
That's a whole other thing. It's another podcast that we do on another channel, and we wear masks when we talk about that, so nobody knows who we really are.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, all right, Rich, talk to us about this. How then can an executive coach assist you, the leaders, in getting to that place where you're seeing clearly, objectively, worthwhile achievements, how to build those relationships altruistically now and into the future, and then making these things really work? How can that executive coach make the difference in your life?
I heard a very interesting analogy about this not long ago. And I'm just gonna unpack it here a little bit, because I thought it was brilliant. If you haven't brushed your teeth for a week, okay, your nose is right above your mouth, but it's not going to tell you haven't brushed your teeth for a week, right? Everybody around you is going to know that. Everybody, and they may or may not say anything, but everybody in the room is going to know that. Everybody you talk to is going to know that. You know, maybe that's a funky analogy, but it's true. What you need is somebody to point out where your gaps are, where your strengths are, and help you capitalize on those things. The people showing you the things that you may not see might be right under your nose, but you need someone there to help point the way. A sounding board, someone can have those difficult conversations with, and, you know, point you in the right direction. And here's the thing, executive coaching is not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the weak. It really isn't, because you're going to learn things about yourself and your leadership styles that you may not know, but it's going to get you to that next level.
Yeah, it's not for the touchy people.
It's not for the, no, it's not. And that,
I don't mean too touchy, but just like, I don't know if I want to hear that. I don't think I like that.
no, but that's where it comes down to being vulnerable, having courage, and having someone tell you, yeah, here's where you need to head to. An executive coach can help you do that.
And
now,
hold you accountable, and hold you accountable.
And here's the thing:
do and you want to do.
Every single executive coach I've ever met, without a fault, has a desire to help others succeed. It's the reason why we're doing this. It really is. You know, Jeremy, you know, we've talked a lot of times about this. It's the desire and to see someone else obtain those same levels of success, and you know, in a lot of ways that we have. Now it's our turn to give back. It's our turn to help those forward.
There's no doubt about it. And so you know, we have a phenomenal platform, system, process, and tools. But in the end, it really comes down to the leader. And we've all been through the coaching process with some of the top coaches, business leadership coaches in the world, right? And so that's how we got in these seats. I really honestly struggled with my core purpose statement for about 5 months, right? And I've been on here now 13 months and was working on core purpose, you know, kind of right at the onset. And I've kept editing and editing. And if I had to boil it down, it really matches up with what you're saying. And that is, I am here at this stage of my career to pay it forward. I've had some great mentors, some great leaders. It wasn't codified in the way that we do with our tools. And boy, I wish I had some of this stuff 20 years ago. I think I probably would have gotten into coaching a lot earlier, and probably made many fewer mistakes on the people side, right? But you know, if we do these things, if we show up every day and display commitment, if everyone knows we're altruistic and not in it for ourselves, it's ultimately going to lead to long-term fulfillment for both the leader and the teams, and the results should demonstrate that, right? And then as we're doing that, and if we do it every day and we brush our teeth every day, we're going to be meeting our goals. And the word I thought of, Rich, it's funny, your analogy, we're going to be meeting our goals in the healthiest way, right? Not at any cost, but in a very healthy way, right? And we all know it takes vulnerability to step into a true empathetic leadership role. And I know that's law number 5. That one comes after this one, although I know we bounce around, and hopefully I have a chance to talk about that one a little bit in you know, a podcast in the future. But again, you know, the idea, someone asked me today, how do you know it's a successful engagement? And I said, well, we've got something called Leader Watch, you know, with some fancy acronyms. And it really is asking stakeholders at all levels, you know, boards, bosses, peers, employees and teams, and then having them rate you at 30, 60, 90. And then again, it's 6 months out, and we're 98 out of 100. The last time we measured, marked improvement. And the two that didn't hit that mark in terms of a demonstrated ROI on these qualitative measures based on the peer review, didn't put in the effort and themselves, and did not, you know, they get bogged down in other things, but they didn't complete the journey, if you will.
Right.
So we can identify that there. So we're almost batting 1,000. I know that sounds too good to be true, but this is real data. And we've got a database full of it. And, you know, for me, what's
to wrap this up? I'm sorry, Jeremy. We're running a little long.
Sure.
Great comments, everyone. Thank you so very much. Jeremy, if they want to get a hold of you, tell us, how do they do that?
Yeah, right. So easiest way is gustafsoncoaching.com, GUSTAFSON, coaching.com. You can find me on LinkedIn. There are a couple Jeremy Gustafson, believe it or not, but it's a fairly unique name. So I should pop up near the top, and you'll see the Master Certified Leadership Coach under my name, and this mug. Try to keep the picture current, although it takes a little bit. But yeah, those are probably the two best ways. Very active on LinkedIn, and if you hit the site, you can book a meeting. My phone number's there. You can call me, and you can certainly email me right from the top of the site. We've got all our contact info. You can book a complimentary coaching session. You can just book a discovery call if you want to know more. Spend 15 minutes. I want to know more about this thing called executive coaching. Or we just jump right into the complimentary coaching session. You know, if you've got goals.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. It's been a pleasure having you on today. Great.
Thanks so much.
Great coach. All right, let's take it home there. Rich.
All righty. Hey, in closing, I want to give, before we're done here, Maikel, I want to give a big shout out to the folks across the pond who are listening to us, been downloading our podcast, all those friends of ours over in Great Britain, in Romania, Transylvania, Spain. We're getting a lot of dedicated listeners over across the pond. And you know what? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support, and keep listening. We'll keep it coming. And again, if you want to know more about executive coaching, Mainline Leaders Act, ILEC.com. Go there, book some time with us, and let's get this going. Let's get you on the road to better leadership and a stronger organization. So once again, thank you for being here today. We appreciate your support. Be safe, and we'll see you again next time.
You bet. We can help. All the best to you.
Once again, thank you for joining us on today's show. With all of the issues impacting today's leaders, you need coaching more than ever. Go to our website, executiveleadersact.ilec.com. Book some time with us. We guarantee your success and that you will gain skills, talents, and knowledge that will last you a lifetime. This podcast was brought to you by Intelligent Leadership Executive Coaching, the world's top executive coaching brand. Once again, thank you for joining us. Have a great day and take care.